Hello, everyone. So I should be able to wrap up the Unit 7 stuff in this video. So this should be the end of it right here. This should be enough to complete your Unit 7 activities. I know that some of you were looking for some videos and some help on some of the more advanced movements from the other object, the other game that we had done. So you can reach out to me for that kind of individually, but I'm going to show you how to do the second part of the Unit 7 activity. So the Unit 7, so the next part is you have to add a character, right? We have to add some kind of character. Now, normally what we've been doing is you've just been having a camera like this, and then you can, whenever you hit play, you can look at that camera and you can move around, right? But that's not really what we need here. It's 3D environment, so we need a first person or a third person character, and that's actually really easy in Unity. It makes it really easy for you. So most of the physics and the things like that that are built for first person and third person have already built into asset packages that are already built into Unity itself. So that's great. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The first thing you need to do is go to Assets. All right, just go to Assets, go to Import Package, and go to Characters. And so see, it already has all these kinds of things. You can bring in the cameras, you can bring in effects, you can bring in all kinds of stuff, vehicles, utilities, all for free. So it's awesome. So click on Characters, and it's going to download them, and it's going to give you this big screen. And we want all these. We want all the sound files. We want the character packages. We want all the text, the scripts, and we're going to import them all into our game. And once we've imported into our game, we're going to have a new folder inside of our assets folder called characters. All right. Now, the OHS instructions are a little bit vague on this, and they're actually just totally wrong. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and also show how to work through this if this happens in the future. So when the OHS tells you something that's wrong, obviously reach out to me and tell me. But there's always a workaround. So I'm going to show you what that is now. Now, once we have our first your standard assets here, you're going to click on standard assets, and there is a folder called characters. Now, the OHS says it's called like character something. I don't know. It's not right. But it's called characters. So we double click on characters. All right. Then we'll double click on first person because we want to do first person. Now you can do third person as well, but remember you have to have an object to attach that third person to, or it's just going to look like first person. So we're going to go to first person, double click on that, and you'll usually see this little text file. Do you see this? This is a console log. This is a console log. This is usually an how-to. So if you click on these and they're inside of a folder, it'll usually tell you what to do, what steps to take in order to apply this to your game. So that's great. And this is in most of the assets. So don't, make sure you're paying attention to this. It says first person character. This is how to get started with first person character, but it's pretty easy. Remember, the OHS is wrong. But the first thing you need to do is double click on prefabs, and you want to bring in your first player shooter controller, right? So we're going to bring that into our game. We're going to drop it right there. Now be careful if you can't see this. It's probably under your terrain, so you might need to grab it, click on it over here in your hierarchy, and then drag it upward, and then that way you can see it. But it's going to go there by default. Now, the next thing you need to do is get rid of the camera. You cannot have a camera and a first-person controller. You can, but then you have to designate which one to be on, and then you have to give one a trigger. So let's just get rid of our camera entirely. Yours is probably called main camera. Just get rid of that, and then now you just have the first person controller, which means it's going to default to the first person view. All right, so once it's placed onto the prefab of our scene, we're good, we're done. Get rid of your camera, and we will go to, and it's just this easy. So if you click on first player controller, look at all the stuff. Look at all the components that are added. This is all kinds of stuff. There's an animation thing in here. These are the scripts that are attached to keep it walking. There's an audio source for your audio. So all this stuff is already attached. You can edit this as much as you want in order to click things like jump. You can change your jump speed, your jump height, run speed, walk speed. So you can change all of this just by messing around with these settings. But I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and let's see what happens. So as you can see, it has placed me inside of my game, inside of my world that I created. There's my mountain range, which I never changed the texture on, but there it is. And if I look around, I bet I'm going to see my houses. There they are. So there's my houses from the last video. Let's go over here. Let's see does it have a jump? Yeah. So jump's already set in there, so that's great. Footsteps, right? And then there's my barrels, so we have that. I don't have anything attached to the keys, but so now I can go around and explore this little 3D world that I created. And so working with these tutorial videos, this took, a matter of minutes, right? Minutes to create a really cool 3D environment, and then to actually be able to walk around in it. So you can even change your starting spot. You can edit all these physics. It's just such a cool Unity just gets really cool, especially when you start messing with 3D editing. So good luck. That's all you'll need. Now remember, for your project, you must use a different assets pack. Okay, so you want to use the same character assets, obviously, to do first or third person, but you want to use a different assets pack than this medieval times one or medieval whatever it's called. Medieval town exteriors. So just go over to the asset store and type in anything you want and look for something cool. So like if I do space, I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna look anyway. How about 3D models, environments, sci-fi? That's what I need. And then I'm gonna do free only because I only want free stuff because I'm cheap. And it's gonna find me some free sci-fi environments, which is gonna be cool. I'm gonna get rid of the word space because that's a filter that's kind of messing it up. So let's hit search, see if it finds me some. I hope it does. There we go. And look, there's all kinds. There's sci-fi styled module, vast outer space. That's awesome. So you can grab one of these, use one of these, create your own 3D world, apply first person or third person camera viewing and walking around to it, and then turn it in, and that's your project. So good luck with this in Unit 7, and then I look forward to starting Unit 8 right after the 4th interim assessment. Thanks, guys.